Hello and welcome, I'm Stefan, this is Real Fitness Coaching, and in this video we're getting into a 20-minute total body beginner level HIIT workout using a pair of dumbbells and a bench or step. Now what I mean by beginner level for this workout is if you're pain-free and stable, if your body hasn't got any muscular injuries or tendon issues, if your back, shoulders, knees, hips are all working well, but you just feel that your fitness level isn't that high, maybe your fitness level is that of a beginner, maybe you've been away from exercise for a little while, or you're new to HIIT exercises, HIIT workouts, or new to exercise in general, then this workout could be for you. But depending on the intensity that you put into the workout, this could easily go up to intermediate level as well. Now, when I talk about the intensity, the resistance that I'm using, for example, is 7 kilos on each dumbbell. I want these exercises to look authentic, and you can see that I'm working on camera, but I certainly wouldn't suggest that you start with 7 kilos if this is the first time doing a workout like this. 2, 3, 4, maybe even up to 5 kilos would be sufficient. Again, if you think of yourself as a beginner, go lighter than you think you might need, because you can always do more next time and repeat the workout later on in the week. Now, you want to enjoy this exercise or this routine as well. You want to be looking forward to maybe repeating it again later in a few days' time, not dreading the experience. Now the workout is going to go like this. We've got 4 minutes for our warm-up and 4 minutes for our cool-down. So we're going to make sure our bodies are really well prepared and cool down after the exercises as well. But we've got 12 exercises, each of which are 40 seconds long with a 20-second recovery. Now do glance an eye up on the screen in those 20-second recoveries, because that's where I'm going to be physically demonstrating the next exercise that's coming up. So you want to have half an eye on the screen to see what's coming up next. Now we're going to start off with our warm-up. We're going to get ourselves, like I say, warmed up thoroughly with hands on hips first, taking our hips out into these nice big hip circles. Now you can rock the feet round side to side as we move with the hips, using the hands as a little bit of an assist, a guide to take those hips out. And again, this is the hips are a real linchpin between the upper body and lower body. So the core, the low back, the hips, a real fulcrum, a focal point for our work. So we're going to make sure that we're nicely warmed up and check in with this relatively easygoing exercise to begin. So taking the hips back the other way now, again I'm using my hands just to guide that big circular movement. There may be some clicks and pops from hips and knees as you're starting to move. As long as there's no discomfort or anything like that, then that's absolutely normal. Okay, so nice big movements here. From here we're going to go into a pendulum movement. That is arms up, weight into the heels, kind of like a squat, but we're bringing our arms down and up. Ski jumpers or pendulum swings, doesn't really matter too much the name of these, but we're just taking the hands down and up. I'll do a few from the side so you can see I'm staying balanced, weight into my heels, and I'm hinging at the hips, keeping my chest up, breathing out on the way up, in on the way down. The pace is entirely up to you, but nice and slow to begin. All right, from here, I'm going to take my feet wide, and first of all, I'm going to bring my hands across to the inside of the shin on one side, and then on the other, bringing the other hand just comfortably behind the body. And you can see I'm shifting my weight from one side to the other, kind of pushing myself to the left and then the right. Getting a stretch through the straight leg and a little bit of work into the loaded side, the other side. That's it. Pushing across, twisting through the body, getting the arms, getting a lot of muscles warmed up with this one. One more on each side. All right, good. Feet together, not quite together, but about hip width apart. And I'm going to bring the hands down, touch the outside of one shin, up and over, making a nice big rainbow type movement overhead. This big sweep with the hands, again sort of sitting down into the heels, keeping those feet flat as they come down, reaching high and wide with the hands, getting the torso, shoulders, and again the legs and hips, bringing the heart rate up that little bit more as well. All right, from here, I bring the feet right together. I'm going to step out to the side into a side squat, bringing the hands out in front to counterbalance, so I'm nice and stable. You can go hands on hips if you prefer. Again, we're just stepping to the side, weight into the heels, hips back. Got about a minute and a half of our warm-up left. That's it. Getting again that stretch through the adductors, the inner thighs. One more. All right, perfect. From here, I'm going to step back, space in front of me. I'm going to bring my hands down to the floor. You can bend the knees if needed, and then walk the hands out to a high plank, and then walk the hands back to standing. We're going to go again, a couple more of those. Fingertips to palms. Hold it, and then walk it back. Again, slow, just at the pace that's right for you. Fingertips to palms, high plank. Don't let the body sag in the middle. And then from there, perfect. We're going to go one more time. This time we're going to stay out in that high plank position. We're going to bring our feet together. We're going to step 1 foot forward as far as we can to that first hand. We're then going to bring that hand up, look to the ceiling, open the palm, and bring that hand back down to the floor. Switch the foot. Same thing on the other side. Reaching up, look high toward the ceiling, hold that palm open, and bring it back down again. We'll switch the feet. We're going to do one more on each side. All right. Step back, and reach up, and back down again. Walking up to standing again. So our first exercise here is going to be walkouts. We've just done this movement. We're going to go feet apart, fingertips to the floor, and walk out to the high plank, and then walk it back. Here we go. 2, 1, off we go. Fingertips to that high plank position. Hold it for a brief pause, and then up. Now you can bend the knees and almost Spider-Man crawl if that's better for you. If you can stretch those hamstrings with straight legs and perform it that way, then that's fine. All right, 20 seconds to go. Halfway through this first movement, just getting the shoulders, the core, getting a bit of stretch in the legs. As I say, nothing wrong with bending the knees, getting into that squat to walk out and walk back. 7 seconds, we get one more. Shoulders, triceps, core, and again, getting that heart rate up a little bit. 20 seconds. Next one is racked squats. I'm going to take the dumbbells, racked position is at shoulder height, and I'm going to sit the hips back and then drive tall. You can perform this with one dumbbell in a goblet position if you prefer. I'm going to go with the 2. Here we go. Down and up. As I say, you can go as slow as is right for you with this movement. Tall at the top. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the quads, the thighs at the top. Draw that navel in. And keep the breathing in time with the movement. 15 seconds more. Down, up. Again, you can slow this down, or you can go with a bit more pace as it's right for you. The last 5 seconds coming up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Very, very good. We're going to use one dumbbell now in a figure of 8. Plant the feet about hip width apart, and then with the dumbbell out in front of you, imagine you're waving a checkered flag in that figure of 8 type pattern. 5 seconds, here we go. Getting the cardio, the shoulders and the core. And here we go. So you're going to alternate the breathing with those reps. Breathing out, and then in. So you're breathing out, say to the left, each time, or the right, and breathing in the other direction. Making tight turns with that dumbbell. Now the longer the arms, the longer the reach, the more you're going to feel the muscles working, the more you're going to feel that leverage working, and the core having to hold the body steady, feet, hips as well, planting your position, glued to the floor. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. All right, alternate step out squats. I'm going to go again with the racked position, but you can go with one dumbbell or just body weight. Feet together, step out, up to the center, step out. Weight into those heels, we've got 5 seconds. So again, we did this one in our warm-up, so familiar with this movement. Here we go, and step. So you get a nice rhythm with this one. Breathing in on the way down. Just getting the foot stepping into a good stable position. Just as wide as is right for you. It doesn't have to be too far, but I'm trying to stretch the inner thighs, work those inner thighs and the glutes as well. Keep the chest up. And working those shoulders a little bit too by holding those dumbbells in this racked position. 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Alternate overhead press. So you can put the dumbbells down for a second, but I'm going to do this next exercise with those dumbbells. Press up one side, then the other. Straight up vertically from that racked position. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Core strong. Breathe out. With each press. Again, the pace can be slower or faster as you prefer, as you're able to work with. Working faster, of course, is going to get that heart rate up that little bit more. Your body will probably have a natural rhythm or pace that it's more comfortable with. Work to that rather than trying to keep up with me. 10 seconds more. Tight grip on the dumbbells for a strong wrist, elbow and shoulder. Don't arch the lower back, keep tall and keep that core engaged. Very good. Alternating reverse lunge. Again, I'm going to do this with the dumbbells. Feet together in the center, space behind me. I step back, I pull myself up and over. I'm not putting very much weight into that rear foot, but rather keeping it on the lead leg. Here we go, 2, 1. Alternating sides. There'll be a slight shift of weight from left to right to keep it over the working leg, forward leg, or lead leg. Keeping my chest up, but allowing my body to hinge. So as I step back, there's a slight forward lean of my upper body from the hips. I can really think into my glutes, quads to drive me up tall. Breathing out as I go. Good. And again, working that pace that's right for you. No impact through this workout. Stepping movements, nice and deliberate and controlled. Very good. All right, halfway through. Bicep curl to press. So it's going to be either both together, or you can alternate if the resistance is a little bit more challenging and you need that little bit of pause from one side to the other. I'm going to start off going both together, but you go with what's right for you. Curl, press. Again, work a pace that you can manage, control on the way down. A little bit of power on the way up is fine, but control. Try not to swing the body or swing those dumbbells. Breathing out on the way up. Breathing in on the way down. That's it. 15 seconds to go. And curl, press. Tight grip on those dumbbells. Navel drawing in. Feet flat to the floor. No arching of the lower back. Last one. Good. All right. Glute bridge. We're going to use this bench just to give a little bit of height now to the feet. You can, of course, do it on the floor. There's no problem at all. It's just going to give you a bit more range of movement. Hands across the chest or down by the sides. Here we go. 2, 1. This is going to work those glutes. And you can see from the feet being up on the bench, I've got a bit more range. I can get a bit more height. Now I'm lifting my toes, so I'm putting the emphasis on my heels, keeping my core engaged, trying to get as much clearance up towards my shoulders. So not leaving much of my back on the floor. Bridge up, a little squeeze, but don't arch the low back. Keep that core pulled in toward the spine. Less than 10 seconds. Exhale on the way up. Hamstrings and glutes and core. And very good. Okay, next up, a vertical chop. We're going to use one dumbbell in the 2 hands, and we're driving it up and down, almost like chopping with an axe. Weight into those heels, plant those feet firm. Here we go. And up and down. Now you can increase that pace, crank up the speed. We're working to bring that dumbbell to a dead stop at the top and the bottom and drive it in both directions. So not just working on the way up, all the way down, but on both. You can breathe out on the way down, all the way up, but keep it in time, whichever feels best for you. 10 seconds, hips, shoulders, keeping that chest up. Okay, tight grip on the dumbbell once more. 2, 1, excellent. All right, dive bomber. This is body weight, no dumbbells. Feet wide, hands wide, in essentially a high plank type position. And from here we're going to push the hips up and back, and then drop the body forward. Arms straight throughout. I'm just pushing the body away from the floor. Off we go. Breathing out as you push the body away from the floor, pushing your shoulders towards your toes, looking at your toes, up on the toes, letting those heels move back and forward. Shoulders, core, hips. And again, just topping up that cardio as well, the breathing, going controlled and slow on the way down, only as low as the low back is happy with. 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Okay. Step climber. So we're back into that high plank position. Step climber like a mountain climber, but we're doing it with a step rather than a running pace. So up on those toes, again, reducing that impact right down. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Knee comes forward, underneath the body. Now, any time in this position you need a rest, just pause to the knees and come back to it when you feel you can. Nice proud posture, not rounding the body or arching and letting that low back and the hips drop. Keep that navel pulled upwards toward the spine. 15 seconds more. Testing the chest and shoulders. Again, pause anytime you need to, but if you can keep it going, then do. 3, 2, 1. Very good. We've got one more to go, and that's alternate one arm clean. So the dumbbell between the feet. Okay, we're going to grab the dumbbell and hoist it to shoulder height and down again. Switch, and again to the other side. Like you're pulling a duffel bag, a heavy bag onto your shoulder. Here we go. One side, down, switch. The other side, down, switch. This is getting the cardio, the legs, the core, the back, and the arms. So, whole body to finish. That's it. Let's go strong for this last one. You can do this. Switch with every rep. And again, sink those hips down low, weight into the heels, drive tall, and last 5 seconds coming up. Up, just to shoulder height. 2, we'll get one more, and up. Whew, very, very good. Well done indeed. We've got 20 seconds recovery, and then we're going into our cool down. Fantastic work. So getting a glow, getting that heart rate up. Challenging, but hopefully manageable. And here we are into our cool down. So we're going to start off with horizontal rotation, taking these arms out wide and turning through the body, turning through the feet. Notice I'm up on the ball of the toe on my rear foot, letting those arms swing through just as far as is comfortable, like dead weight, tall through the spine, through the body. It's a nice breeze you catch with the arms to cool you down after this one. We're going to hip circles again, so hands on hips, and we'll take those hips out and around, just as we did in our warm-up. Hopefully now, comparing this to the start, they feel a bit freer, everything's a bit warmer. Those joints and muscles will be a little bit more flexible, back the other way, compliant and free to move. So the hips, ankles, knees, the back, feeling good with this movement out and around. Okay, perfect. From here, we're going to take one hand and reach it up. The other hand is going to reach down the side of the body, down below the knee, towards the floor. It's going to get the stretch through the upper body, the torso, but also down into the space between the lower ribs and the hips. No rush with these. Just coming up, feeling that stretch, and only down as far as is comfortable. Alright, from here we're going to go with our feet wide, again like we did in our warm-up. This time, just going to hang out in this position here, leaning back toward the straight leg foot, just a little bit to get that stretch through the inner thigh. And then from here, we're going to go up and over to the other side. So move the hips, and again, leaning back toward the straight leg is what will give you that stretch. 6, 7 out of 10, 7.5 is enough. And again, a second visit to this first side, and we'll do one more on the other side, of course. Up and over, again, inner thighs, getting that nice stretch. From here, I'm going to bring the feet together. I'm going to walk out just as we did in our first exercise and in our warm-up. Bring those feet together take a step forward, and again I'm going to reach up into this groiner step with a T rotation. The thoracic spine and the shape of my arms making that T. This hand is going to come down underneath and reach through the gap between my shin and my forearm. And now I'm going to thread the needle and getting that stretch through the lead hip. If you can, take it up a second time onto that same side. And then underneath the body, through that gap. Just breathing, nice deep slow breaths. We'll bring that hand back to the floor. We're going to switch the feet. Breathing in time and at a pace that's right for you. Up, reaching that hand up. Stretch the chest and shoulders underneath now, through the gap, threading the needle. Just about a minute left of our cool down. Really get a good stretch from that lead hip, hamstring as we reach under the body. Up and again, looking to the ceiling, open the palm, bring the hand back to stretch the chest and shoulder for once again going underneath. Good. From here, bring the hand back to the floor, bring those feet back together, walk back. I'm going to linger in this hamstring stretch, just fingertips on the toes, really getting the back and the hamstring stretched as we drop the body down. Nice and slowly now, we're going to uncurl the body as we come up, let the hands stay low. Head comes up slowly, we're going to roll the shoulders low to high, front to back, getting a nice
activity completed.
Big movement, not just through the shoulders but through the spine as well. Up and around, opening up at the front as we finish. Nice deep breath. And well done indeed. Give yourselves a round of applause. Well done indeed. Again, that can be as challenging as you make it. 12 exercises, 40 seconds of work. Some of those are more challenging than others. Everyone's body is slightly different, so maybe you found lifting the weights overhead more challenging. Maybe it was holding your body weight in those plank type positions. That certainly tested me, my arms and shoulders. Hopefully you feel that you've got your heart rate up and you've got a bit of a glow on, and that has been an enjoyable but challenging workout for you. Thank you so much again for joining me in these workouts. I'm going to be putting together a whole bunch of different tier, different level exercises, beginner levels. I think if you've seen the channel, you'll see there's some high level exercises, some HIIT workouts there with heavy resistances. But I want to help people who are just starting off as well as those who are really into their fitness, into their exercise, and can maybe push the boat out a little bit more. So I'm trying to provide something for everybody. I hope you found this useful. Please do let me know in the comments below if you have, and if you'd like to see more of these types of exercises. Thank you once again for supporting the channel. Every like, every share, every comment really does help me out. I will look forward to seeing you again very, very soon in another fantastic workout. And in the meantime, take care.